So Al, what's up? How you doing?
How you doing, brother? You good?
I'm good. Finally, we can start this conversation that I've been waiting for so long. Introduce yourself to the audience. What is your name and what is your artist name?
My name's Al. My artist name is 2.0. I am a producer. I'm a low-key practicing photographer, a father, a husband, a brother, a son, yeah.
And an MC, right?
And an MC.
You don't forget about that. You can't forget about that.
You know, yeah.
That's
and an MC.
That's a lot of.
I didn't put that in. I say producer, photographer. Yeah,
you didn't put in the most
and
important
MC.
thing right now with your band. We're going to talk about your band a little later.
Yeah.
So, where are you from? Let the audience know where you're from. Where are your roots?
I was born and raised in Johannesburg, South Africa. I would like to say I'm from Cape Town, South Africa. Based in Stuttgart, Germany now.
That's wild. I think coming from South Africa to Germany, that must have been quite a cultural shock to you.
I mean, it's not an uncultural shock in the sense that, I mean, we have a lot of white people in South Africa, Germans as well, Germans. But it's not a culture shock. Maybe I would say because there's no black people in Germany, then it's, But other than that, I mean, a scene is a scene wherever you go.
So you could adjust pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, I spent a lot of my childhood traveling. Not traveling, but like moving around, either at my mom's house or my aunt's house or my grand's house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And all over South Africa. So I spent a lot of time doing that. So in me doing that, reacclimating myself to a environment was something that I've done quite often. So me moving here is just the same, but instead of it being in South Africa, it's in Germany.
So you mentioned your name is 2.0.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the name? Was it given to you by someone?
It was given to me.
Or how does that name come?
There's a homeboy of mine, man, Bradley from South Africa. We were I got a friend, I'm gonna name drop. I got a friend, his name's Roxy, and he had a place in Cape Town called Rafiki's. So we used to go there all the time, drink, chill out, listen to music. And I'm an avid collector of sneakers, right? So then Brad, he pulled up to Rav's and we're just chilling. And because he knows I collect shoes, he was like, hey, Boogie, 20 shoes. That's how it started, 20 shoes. And then he went to Boogie, 2 shoes. Now there's a South African artist, his name is called Booga 2 Shoes. So he was playing with that. So then it ended up being cut down to Boogie 2.0. And then I ended up just separating Boogie and 2.0 because Boogie is what my friends and family would know me as. And then a lot of the artists in the scene or whatever know me as 2.0. So I separated Boogie 2.0 and 2.0. So I'm just 2.0 in the as a profession, and then Boogie as
a nickname. So the way I met you was producer first. Mm-hmm. That's how I got to know you, and you still keep. That's how I see it. You have the style of production, which is to me the golden era of hip hop, the 90s.
Thank you.
So you're welcome.
Well, yeah. And
that style of production got lost, in my opinion, in the last 5 to 10 years, maybe longer.
Yeah.
So what is the thing that led you to that production style, and why you still keep that production style with you which means like the group Noir de Soul, which we're gonna touch on a little bit later, is like a still big part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I've always gravitated to music that touched the soul, you know. It could also be because I grew up in a house that played a lot of R&B, a lot of jazz, you know, rhythmic stuff, or what to say. But then me growing up, like when I started listening to hip hop, my first introduction to like hip hop was a Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So falling in love with that at the beginning, I just sort of stayed there.
Yeah.
I listened to also other stuff, but then I've always been gravitating to stuff that touch the soul, you know? So when I create something, I create whatever I feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not even like I'm trying to create something soulful. I like the chords of soulful music. So if I'm sampling, I'm like, ooh, this sounds nice. I'm gonna sample this because it sounds nice, you know? Yeah, man, I've always been into mellow, soulful, boom bap stuff. So growing up around it, I think you sort of create what you grow up around. Right. My opinion, my experience as well.
And you stick to those roots, right?
I mean, look, I've produced drum and bass songs. I've produced house songs, you know, house beats, drum and bass beats. Let me not say songs. Beats. So as a producer, I always try and be able to create a variety of stuff.
Yeah.
But then what I enjoy doing is soulful, boom bap,
hip hop.
Yeah, that's it.
So I mentioned the name a few times now. It's
Noir de Soul.
Noir de Soul, right? So let's talk about that. The band.
Noir de Soul. So for us to talk about Noir de Soul, we have to talk about why I rap.
That's what I said. I met you first as a producer.
Right?
And then it came around with a little bit of soul, which was like a battle rap.
It wasn't. So what happened was I had produced the beat for a little bit of soul, right? And I had given it to an artist, right? Who said they want a beat. Boom, I given it to this artist. And then he said, yeah, I don't like it. It's whack. It sounds like a 90s beat.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he said. It was like, I don't like it. It sounds like a 90s beat. And I don't know, maybe it's just the way he replied that I didn't like, that I felt like sort of offended. So I was like, you know what? I'm actually gonna show you that this is a dope beat. You just don't know how to write to dope stuff. So I sat, and then that's how I started writing a little bit of soul. It was really to prove a point that it's a dope beat.
Gotcha.
And one thing led to another. You know what I mean?
And that's how we met. And then
hey, let's do a video for it.
Yeah, which is still a classic in my eyes.
Exactly.
In that short time.
What I didn't want to be seen as, no shade to an artist that performs with the DJ, like him and the DJ. No, that's super dope. There's people who kill a set like that, you know?
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be that dude. I didn't want to get on stage, perform a track, and then, you know, chill. And then, you know, hey, so the next song is, and then press play. I didn't want that. I wanted to have like a variation in the beginning of my song, and the middle, and the this, and the that, and you know. And also if I'm talking, have this. That's how Noir de Soul actually came across to be, because I wanted to be that artist on stage that can create an experience and that can bring soul out in his performance. So,
which is basically possible only with a band. if you stay true to music, it's only possible to
I
bend.
think you could. That feeling, that experience, you can only do that with the live set, man. Live band.
100%.
You can't do that with the CD. You know what I mean?
You can't.
Because when the song is finished, it's like there's silence. So I had to reach out to, and all the guys in the band, they actually all know each other. Robert, who plays the trumpet, he's the one who plays the trumpet on A Little Bit of Soul. He said he knows a dope drummer, which was then Clarence. And then Clarence was like, hey, I know a dope bassist, who was then Terrence. And then nobody knew a keyboardist, right?
Yeah.
And then I was on the net, and I was this Backstage Pro, this website called Backstage Pro. I was going through that, boom, 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 boom. And then the first person that I saw was Jerome. But then what made me reach out to Jerome was the music he listened to. He said, hey, I'm Jerome, boom, boom, boom. I'm a French keyboardist. I listened to The Roots, Tribe Called Quest, Jay Dilla. And I was like, all right, okay.
That's the one.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
I was
the
like,
one.
All right, that's the dude. If he plays keyboard and he's been doing it for like however many years, and this is the music he listens to, he knows exactly what I want. So that's how then we started Noir de Soul.
Yeah, you guys are really like that. What I said earlier, like the 90s hip hop. When I got in touch with hip hop, I got in touch as well with the Roots.
Yeah.
And we spoke about like Black Thought. And
in the car
being,
with Logic.
Being in the car, being like one of the greatest MCs
ever
on your list.
Ever.
And
number one on my list. It's
and
Black Thought and everyone else on there.
and I saw your live set in Kulturkiosk, the tiny window.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. Those guys really remind me of them. You know, I don't want to be like, oh, you such and such sound exactly like them. You don't. You are Noir de Soul, but I mean, it reminded me of getting into touch with hip hop the first time.
Noir de Soul is a soulful experience.
Yeah,
man.
it is.
It's literally like when you have to watch us.
Yeah.
I tell people, I'm like, you know, I think when you watch us on TV or you watch us on YouTube or whatever, it's like, oh, that's nice. You know, well done. But when you're there with us,
it's different.
Yeah, man, it's different. It's different.
Which we are going to witness tonight.
It's different. Something DJ Quick said real quick. He was like, when you recording like music onto like a cassette. I hope I'm not misquoting him. Either I think he said onto a cassette or
on tape
or something. He was like the energy, like there's an electromagnetic whatever that happens from the recording stuff into the tape, and you can also record the energy of the music. Do you know what I mean? The feeling of, and that's what you don't get on YouTube. On YouTube it's just zeros and ones.
Exactly.
Binary, you know what I'm saying? But then when you're there with us, it's
different.
It's a soulful experience, man. Yeah.
There's one last question I always give, or I ask the people that come by.
Yeah.
So the question is, if you could go back in time and meet your older me at whatever age, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What thing is there a thing that you would tell the younger me?
There is, man. I'm just trying to find out how to put it in words. I think I would tell him to cancel the noise out. To tune out the white noise. You know, tune that out. Zero in. I say that because I think for me there was a lot of white noise growing up. There was a lot of white noise, a lot of negativity that affected me, that slowed me down. yeah, I would say I wouldn't change a thing. I would just say cancel the noise, zero in, focus. That's what I would. That's the only thing I could say.
That's great advice.
That's the only thing I could say.
Thanks, man. Appreciate. That was awesome.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you,
brother. This is some next level.
Mixed with all the footage from the show.
Yeah, we gonna.
Yeah, man.